This combat-proven howitzer is one of artillery's most respected weapons, adding an extra devastating punch to division artillery firepower. Stability of this weapon is accomplished by the lockout suspension system and recoil spade. The suspension system has been designed so the road wheels are attached to torsion bars. They are free to move up and down as the weapon moves across country, and they function much like the shock absorbers on an automobile. The suspension system can be locked by the driver when the weapon is in the firing position. When locked, the wheels cannot move up and down. Thus, the shock of firing is transmitted directly to the ground. This hydraulically locked suspension system makes the entire vehicle an extremely stable firing platform. The recoil spade at the rear of the weapon provides additional stability. It is lowered and placed hydraulically by the chief of section. He raises and lowers the spade while directing the driver to move the vehicle slightly back and forth, using the spade as if it were a bulldozer blade, and digs it into the ground. Then directs the driver to back up in placing the spade. The chief of section then directs the driver to engage the lockout suspension system and leave the switch in the locked position after the wheels have settled to the contour of the ground. Considered to be one of the most accurate cannon artillery weapons, the hydraulically operated recoil spade and suspension lockout system permit emplacement of this weapon in only 2 minutes, or quick displacement to a new location. The adjustable pneumatic equilibrators, one on each side of the tube, compensate for the unbalanced weight of the barrel and breech ring, and ease the effort required to elevate the tube from a minimum of plus 35 mils to a maximum of 1,156 mils. Total traverse is 1,066 mils, 533 mils to the left and right of center. Elevation, traverse, loading, and ramming are accomplished with hydraulic power. The fused projectile on the loading tray is picked up by the loader rammer, swung around in line with the powder chamber, and then the projectile is rammed into the forcing cone. The powder charge is placed inside the powder chamber, and the loader rammer is swung to the stowed position. The step-threaded interrupted screw breech block is closed and manually locked, and the primer is inserted in the firing mechanism. Hydraulic power is also used to lay the weapon for direction and elevation. Variable hydro-pneumatic recoil mechanism automatically adjusts for length of recoil as the tube is elevated or depressed. A short recoil at higher elevations and a longer recoil at lower elevations. The length of recoil on this weapon varies from 29 to 70 inches depending on the elevation of the tube. The maximum rate of fire is 1.5 rounds per minute for the first 3 minutes, and the sustained rate of fire is 1 round per 2 minutes. It is capable of firing both conventional and nuclear ammunition. Although you see this weapon firing direct fire, it can fire its 200-pound projectile at ranges up to 16,800 meters. The hydraulic power system of this weapon greatly increases the speed with which the howitzer crew of 13 members can engage targets, as well as reducing the time required to prepare the section for movement to a new position. 8 members of the crew ride in the cargo carrier, and the other 5 on the carriage. This rugged, efficient carriage, designed specifically for the field artillery, is capable of high speeds on average roads. It can easily traverse rough terrain, snow, and mud. It has a cruising range of 450 miles and is air transportable. 1 battery of 4 8-inch howitzers is assigned to the composite battalion in the infantry division, and 1 battalion of 12 is assigned to both the armored and the Mechanized Infantry Division's artillery.